Hey, this is Dan Brzezowski. Wanted to welcome you back to the No Comfort Zone. Today, we're going to be talking thinking outside of average and how to do that. I'll see you on the inside.
Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
To some people, the No Comfort Zone might be a meme. It might be something cute to say. It might be even something to help motivate your staff, your people, whatever, a mindset that you have. But for me, it's a way of life. And I'm going to share something with you today in this podcast on how to make the No Comfort Zone part of your life. And the benefits of doing so, you're going to have a huge change in a lot of different things. You're going to have a better outlook on life. You're going to increase your confidence. Your relationships are going to get better. Man, for all I know, food's even going to taste better when you start doing this program the right way. So it's my job, my responsibility as the ambassador of the No Comfort Zone mindset is to actually help you to start to think outside of average and start to change the reality. Now, there's a lot of people talking about this. I changed my own personal reality years ago, and what ended up happening for me is my life just got better and goals seemed to come to me a little bit easier. I started to live in accomplishment. I started to get the results that I was actually seeking rather than wandering around day by day trying to figure it all out. I came up with a process that actually worked. In today's topic, I'm going to be talking about two of those things that I do on a regular basis that help me to achieve my goals and basically think outside of average to change my reality because it keeps getting better and better every single day. I've talked a lot about labels on this podcast. And if you're identifying yourself as this, if you're identifying yourself as that, if you're depressed, anxiety, whatever it might be, there's a lot of things that you can do to change that reality. Now, if you have a genuine issue and you're seeing a doctor, strongly recommend that. If you're on medication and you're seeking therapy, great, good for you. That's really important. I did that myself. But I want to share something with you is that medication alone isn't going to get you there. And I'm a huge proponent against medication for the wrong reasons. I don't like the idea of a Band-Aid. I like to fix things so it's done and over with. I've been drug-free for 16 years now, alcohol-free for 16 years, street drugs, all that other stuff done. And here's what I'm doing. I'm responsible for a lot of people, and I'm responsible for a lot of things in my life now. And that's been afforded to me because of the lifestyle that I live. And there's something that should be said about this, that what you have in front of you in the direction that you want to go, it's totally achievable, whatever that might be. And if you don't know what you want, and if you don't know where you're going, man, you need to pick up that keyboard, type my URL in there, the nocomfortzone.com, get in my calendar. I'll call you and we're going to simply go over a process to get you focused on your goals, put some goals in place, put some standards in place so that you can start living a little bit better life because I don't want you to be unhappy. It comes down to this one simple thing. I believe in you. And if you don't believe in yourself, just know that I believe in you and I know that you can take it to the next level. And here's one or two of the ways that I do that. I want you to start being drastic, not drama, but be drastic. And I want you to be unrealistic for an extended period of time. Tony Robbins said it a long time ago. He had mentioned that if the most successful people he identified, the most successful people that he identified were the ones that were the most unrealistic. And I keep thinking about that over and over again. Are you the nice guy that wants to help everybody out? That's great. Truth be told, though, is you don't want to get walked over. You don't want to think less of yourself. You don't want to start to have this passive aggressive type of mentality where you think to yourself, I did this for that person, therefore they owe me, or the if-then scenario. You just don't want to start living in that space. So I'm challenging you to become drastic. What does that mean? That means be drastic. Instead of getting up like at 6 a.m, like the rest of the world does, 7 a.m, 8 a.m, wherever you're at in your life, if you're in your 20s, maybe getting up at noon, be drastic. Get up at 5 a.m. See what happens at 5 a.m. and put a plan together. First thing I do when I wake up is go get hydrated. Don't look at your phone. Grab that writing tablet and start writing out and it's so your gratitude list. I think about this for a moment. We've got it too easy. We take too much for granted. So instead of having maybe I take for granted list, here are the things in my life that I take for granted instead of a gratitude list, because people are so lost right now, what they complain about and what people do. And I'm not talking about me, because I definitely appreciate every waking minute and every moment. When you survive a coma, and when you survive some brain injury, when you survive, lack in your life, and you get past this stuff, you really want to have an impact, and you don't really take everything for granted. Now, I slow down every now and again, but I'm telling you, become drastic for an extended period of time and see what happens. Just getting up early, taking cold showers. I talked about it before. If you want to change your environment, eat less, or if you're on the other, eat more of the better stuff. Drink more water, be drastic, start to do things. You're in sales. Instead of making the 20 or 30 phone calls that you think you're making, what about making actual 100 phone calls? Yeah, but Dan, I don't have time in the day to do that. How would you do that? Just do it. Just do it. Be drastic. Just do it. You have something that you're having an issue with where you're too afraid to confront somebody. Confront them. Just come up and actually say it. Go out and stand tall, hold your chin up, chest out, head back, shoulders back, and just let the person know, hey, this is what I feel about things. Here's where I'm at. Here's a solution, and just keep moving forward. Some of you know what I'm talking about. Recently, I've had a few people that I've known in my past, and I appreciate you listening to the show, that have reached out and said that this is a very positive podcast, and there's not a lot of positive podcasts out there. I think when I do this podcast that I'm sometimes too drastic, or I sometimes put too much out there, because it gets to the point where somebody might think to themselves, where's he going with this? What does he mean? What I mean is, I want you to wake up. I want you to realize that if you're complacent, if you're comfortable in your life, you're going to die. If you haven't died already, now you're just waiting to get buried. All too often, people go through this life just as I did, not realizing what's going on around them, not becoming fully aware, not identifying what it is they want out of this life, not making any decisions. That indecision place, I'm waiting for this, I'm waiting for that, I'm not going to make that decision, and they take zero action. That's a miserable existence, and I think that you should be grateful for where you're at, that you can take a breath in, and if God love you, man, get up at 5 a.m, write out your goals, get moving, get hydrated, and then figure out to yourself, hey, if you need something to motivate you, I will send you the videos that I watch every single day. They're sporadic, but I watch these videos every single day just to get me jacked up, just to get me in the know, just to get me in a place where I can come and talk to you and let you know that, man, there is so much more than the life that you're living, because these people that reached out to me, yeah, they're getting promoted. They're moving up. In a world that I'm in, there's a lot of people that are complacent because of what's going on in our market in the automobile retail industry. And there's a lot of people that are realizing that, man, this cannot last forever. So I'm going to dig in and I'm going to work a little bit harder. And there are some people that have made some recent changes, and they were uncomfortable changes, but they're grateful for where they're at now. And that being said, that's drastic. So if you don't take any risk, there's going to be no reward. Start to risk something. Start to be more drastic in your approach towards your life. What could you be more drastic in? Could you be more drastic in your finances? Hell yeah, you can. Can you be more drastic in your relationship? You sure can. You could make your other feel more significant than ever before. Be drastic about it. Lay it on thick. Hey, and do me a favor. If you fall into that problem where the other person thinks that, why are you doing this stuff, and you did something wrong, don't worry about it. I've been through that, not doing anything wrong. You're doing all the right stuff. You're doing it because you want the other person to feel significant, not to make you feel better. Although it is pretty kick-ass when you can blow somebody's mind up and be like, you know what, you're the most important person in my life, and you edify that and you show them that, and it's just nothing but a great feeling that you can get. And it's definitely reciprocal. I can speak because the relationship that I've been in for the past 10 years, it's something that we both do on a regular basis. And I'm really happy to say that. Even when we fight, it's all good. So the next thing I want to talk about is this. First, if you can do the drastic thing, if you could just figure out, email me, Dan@thenocomfortzone. Here's my drastic. And just let me know. Dan@thenocomfortzone.com. Email me and let me know, Dan, this is what I did that was drastic, and here was the outcome. Here's what I want to do. What do you think? And I'll let you know, man. We'll figure that out together. But also, I want you to be unrealistic too. I want you to be unrealistic. So I had set a goal out a long time ago with some things that I was working on about 3 years ago, about where I was at in my career, and I was pretty flat, and I was upset, and my health was in jeopardy, and I got fat, and I was miserable. I had a great relationship, supportive wife, great family, and everybody loved me, and everybody thought I was doing well. And then I just said, you know what? The reason why I'm bummed out, the reason why I'm stressed out, the reason why I'm lacking in my life right now is because of one simple thing. My goals don't motivate me anymore. To me, I got to the top of the mountain. I got to that place in my industry, and I was teaching people on the principles that I've developed over the years by learning from other people and listening to other people and listening from my customers. Now I get to teach it to other people. I became a teacher of the processes in my industry, and I was sought after. I had people asking me to come and speak to their groups and their organizations. It was a wonderful place to be, but my personal life, I couldn't get it together. Emotionally, I was a train wreck. I could not stop thinking about my past. I couldn't stop thinking about the things that I lost, and I got upset. And then it became this big, vicious cycle of self-abuse. Drinking, drugs, wrong people, wrong spending, all the stuff. And it just fizzled out until finally, when I finally hit the ground and I came to earth, and I realized, man, you know what? After this coma, what I need to do is I need to figure some shit out in my life. What am I going to figure out? I need to figure out who I am. So when I figured out who I was, not who I want to be, but when I figured out who I was, that's when I had to make the change, because I was fat, I was miserable, I was depressed, I was a motivator, I was successful, but now I have no worthy ideal that I'm working for. So I find myself in this place where I'm like, I don't like who I am. Now, how can you not like yourself but be in great relationships? It's kind of tough. I had the foresight to realize that if I repeat this cycle again, I'm going to wind up divorced, I'm going to wind up broke, I'm going to wind up homeless, and I'm going to wind up probably stroking out or getting a heart attack or getting some sort of disease, because that's what happens when you become average. I'm just telling you that. When you don't have goals, you don't have standards, you don't have principles, and you know deep in your heart you should be chasing these things, you owe it to yourself, to society, to your family, you owe it to your work, you owe it to everybody to start pursuing those goals, those dreams, and those passions. And the problem is, we decide we want to put realistic and achievable in front of those goals, which is a bunch of bullshit. I spent way too many times in my life putting realistic and achievable goals in front of me, only to hit those goals and realize, man, that was very realistic, and wow, that's great. There's nothing here now. Or better yet, what about when you put that goal out there? It's a massive goal, and you put it out there and then you achieve it. What you're going to find out is it's not just one goal you're going to achieve. It's going to be multiple goals. And then it just becomes matter of fact. There's no celebration. There's no victory, raising your hands, although you might feel like that for a minute or two, but it goes away quickly. And anyone who's had major success in their life will tell you that. As soon as you have that success, that successful act that got you there, and you got that feeling of joy and adoration and all that comes along with success, as soon as that happens, it's done and over with. You move on. The next day happens. The hangover's done. You move on and you're done celebrating, and you say to yourself, now what? The best part about being successful is that when you're working towards a worthy ideal, and you're in that direction, whatever it is, you want to be a top-notch salesperson? Let's run for that goal. You want to be a great spouse? Let's run for that goal. Great dad? Run for that goal. You want to start making money? Well, you need to do the things that people that make money do. You need to know where your risks are. You need to know where your money's coming. You need to know where it's going. You need to have a plan together. And it doesn't need to be perfect, but you need to have a plan. This is what I'm going to do, and then you do it. By definition, you become successful because you're working towards the worthy ideal, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to say this over and over again. If you want to start achieving out of average, if you want to start living outside of your comfort zone, today's message is simply, I want you to be drastic and I want you to be unrealistic. I want you to bring that shock and awe, drastic and unrealistic. You start being drastic and unrealistic with your expectations of yourself, expectations of other people, expectations of your goal, and you start throwing standards in place and you start behaving the way that a successful person does. Unrealistic is going to be realistic and achievable, and drastic is going to be a lifestyle. And that's what I want for you. Listen, if you need help putting things together, getting your goals in order, achieving things in your life, to be business-minded, to become a better leader, to become a better whatever is true for you, this is an audience that I have. If you're listening to this podcast, I want you to reach out. Give me a great rating or review over there on Apple iTunes. I want you to reach out to my email, dan@thenocomfortzone, or better yet, if you're looking, and only if you're looking to take action now and get out of your comfort zone, only if you're looking for that, I want you to go to the nocomfortzone.com, the nocomfortzone.com, the nocomfortzone.com. You get on my calendar, put a time in. I'll reach out to you. We'll have a 20-minute talk. I'll give you some great information. I'll send you over my blueprint. Doesn't cost you anything. I just want to get you on that call and get you pointed in the right direction, because when you do that, you're living outside of your comfort zone. And when you can live outside of your comfort zone, you can begin to live on purpose. I'll see you on the next episode.
say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at No Comfort Zone 1.
5.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.